Good morning, everybody. Mike and Corey today on this fine Wednesday, October 23rd. Today's topics, we're going to talk about social media and who gets it if there's a divorce. Why would that matter? I'll explain why. And then Corey's going to talk about, we've heard so much about Eli Lilly and the weight loss drugs and, those stocks and those drug prescriptions taking off. But could there be some impact to what people are stopping eating? Anything from Starbucks to drinking Coca-Cola to Hershey's candy, right as we come into Halloween. That's another topic. But before we get started, I'll remind you this is a financial education presentation. You must do your own due diligence on anything that you hear in this presentation. More disclaimer information can be found on ankerstarwealth.com, and the opinions expressed are mine and Corey's alone. So let me get started. I saw this article this morning on the Wall Street Journal, and I was intrigued. It was who gets the TikTok in a divorce? And I thought, oh my gosh, if you're getting divorced and you're fighting over a TikTok account or Facebook or whatever, I was like, I can't even believe this is the topic. But then I read the article, call it clickbait. It was interesting. So why would somebody fight over a social media account? Well, it's because they have a lot more followers than Corey and I have. If Corey's, I don't know, 16 followers and my 3 followers, we'd be like, you can have that, whatever. But the example they bring is a couple that was getting divorced, and I think they have 10 million followers. So they develop a business together, and that's really, actually 4 million followers. They develop a business together on TikTok and YouTube, and they have 4 million followers. And I can't even imagine getting divorced in front of 4 million followers, but that's what they're doing. So now their lawyers have to figure out, how do we break this up? And it's not as easy as, well, you take 2 million and I'll take 2 million. So what they ended up doing is one person, I think the lady named Kat got the TikTok account, and the guy named Mike, I guess the older guy like Mike here, he got the YouTube. At least I do use YouTube. And that was the business, how they split this. Now, what I thought was interesting about in this article too is, and I did not realize this, there are 27 million paid content creators in the US. So Corey, I wasn't sure, since we're making content right now and I do get a paycheck, not specific to this, but does that mean I'm in the 27 million? I'm not really sure. I hope not.
That probably just includes the people getting revenue share from ads and stuff.
Okay.
On YouTube and
Steve has not been giving me a cut of our 100 views every day or how many ever we get. I'm expecting a big pay raise at some point. But it says 44% of 27 million, so that's about 12, 13 million people, say social media is their full-time job. That's the part that kind of made me catch my breath.
wow.
There's 12 or 13 million people in the United States, and social media content creation is their full-time job. I don't know what to think about that. Other than what are we doing? Is that real work? I don't know. I'm sure somebody that's making, Joe Rogan, that's making millions and millions, to say, yeah, it's real work. And, I don't know, Joe that has a YouTube channel making $50 a month says maybe it's not really a full-time living. But anyways, the idea of splitting up social media. Now, I can't believe you'd split up like Facebook, like, someone would say, hey, I want the Mike Youngman Facebook or Corey's Facebook or our LinkedIn accounts. But it did bring up an interesting thing, that this is really a business. There really are assets in the number of viewers or subscribers to it. And when it comes to legal matters like a divorce, it's a big deal. The successful side of this is the lady named Kat got the TikTok. She changed her handle. It says to Kat Stickler, and now she has 10.5 million followers. So I guess Mike was really just dragging her down, slowing her down. She's got her own account. She's blowing up. And it said Mike ended up with YouTube, which is now defunct. Sorry, get a real job. No more content creation for you. So interesting topic. I'm going to turn this over to Corey because we have talked lots about Eli Lilly and Novo and the weight loss drugs that are populating across the country, certainly over the last year or two. And Corey's going to take it a little further. Here you go, Corey.
Yeah, Mike, when we first heard about those GLP-1 drugs hitting the market, there was some speculation about how that would impact certain companies out there. But that was a little over a year ago that things really started to take off. So I happened to be researching Hershey last night, and I knew that they'd been facing a few different headwinds. I didn't know that they had some inventory headwinds, so through a few of their channels, but learned about that. And I knew cocoa prices had kind of increased rapidly. Sugar prices have increased pretty quickly. But what I didn't know, so I was reading through this recent earnings report, and they had a prior guidance of 2 to 3% sales growth that they updated to down 2% for the year. And I thought that was interesting. I was reading about it, but some of that is just volumes. Volumes are decreasing. And then late last night, yeah, I came across this. Starbucks pre-released some earnings information last night. So they did it early. That usually means things are either exceptionally good or exceptionally bad. And in their case, it wasn't the exceptionally good. So they're having same-store sales down 7% year over year. And, you know, they're popular products. What would cause same-store sales to decrease? You know, they're kind of on that higher single-digit range. And then I was looking this morning, Coca-Cola earnings came out. Coca-Cola's revenues actually declined 10%, but that decline, I'm sorry, revenues declined 1%, but that decline included 10% inflation, like price increases. They're taking price. So what it really did come down to, though, was down 2% in volumes. And I was reading all these things, and I was wondering how many people are on Ozempic. And the number I found, it was estimate, but it was 15 million, which comes out to, you know, roughly 6% of the U.S. So I was just wondering, I mean, do you think that these are correlated, or do you think it's sort of random that these happen to be kind
Very
of similar?
interesting. You know, I mean, that's a couple things is, you know, 15% are on Ozempic or a GLP-1 drug. There's multiple ones out
No,
there.
15 million, 15
Oh,
million,
15 million,
6%.
15 million. And then, of course, you know, 12 million are full-time social media creators. You know, I'm bringing this all together into one thing here. You know, I mean, part of me thinks, you know, we're getting a slowing economy. So things that are considered wants rather than needs.
Discretionary, yeah.
Yeah, discretionary. You know, I'm guessing Starbucks. I'm guessing candy. I imagine we'll see an uptick around Halloween time. I don't know. You know, it's probably a balance between that. Both those things are affecting. You know, I would love to believe that people are getting healthier and they're eating healthier foods. You know, and then therefore later on we'll see diseases go down that are controlled by diet. You know, but I don't know. Habits are hard to break. So it's probably a combination of it. It'll be really interesting. I never thought about saying Eli Lilly goes up and Coca-Cola and Starbucks go down. Whether they're negatively correlated, you know, is an interesting concept. We'll have to continue to watch that. You know, most of what we're in is the tech side, less the food and drug side. But certainly in the overall S&P 500, these are major companies. And you know, Coca-Cola. I want to say was it Steve Jobs that recruited away somebody from Coca-Cola? It was kind of the, you know, he pulled somebody away from Coke when he was alive that said, and he said, hey, do you want to help me change the world, or do you just want to make sugar water? Well, you know, I don't know. You know, and I certainly have an appreciation for Coke. I've drinking my fair share of Diet Coke over my life. So, what do you think, Corey? Get healthy.
I don't think it's totally random. I'm with you. I think there is a correlation. I don't know how strong that correlation is, but I don't think it's totally random. those drugs do suppress appetite, and I've seen them help people. So yeah, I'm with you. Healthier people can be happier out there. So I'm good with that.
Well, it's almost lunchtime, so there's an unhealthy fast food restaurant I'm sure nearby that we need to go give them our business to keep this economy rolling, right, Corey? So you
Yeah,
go out.
stimulate out there. Stimulate.
That's right. Let's keep it going. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.